Just this morning, I've made over $200,000 in funding off of just one trade that you see on the screen. The way I did that is by using ICT's Power of 3. In today's video, we're going to be going over the top A+ strategies that's going to help you improve your trading game. So many people use this strategy, and honestly, this has helped me tremendously. So we're going to be going over the candlesticks, how to read them, how to see if we're manipulating, what type of step we're in the Power of 3. Basically go over everything from A to Z so you guys can understand ICT's Power of 3 even more and start seeing those results quick. So obviously, let's back this trade up and kind of give you what I thought, what my bias was, and kind of the why behind why I took this trade. Alright, so obviously right here, we are consolidating around obviously our 10 a.m. time frame. If you guys did not know, PO3 strategy happens at 10 a.m. So our PO3 strategy happens at 10 a.m. and you guys can search up here Power of 3. You guys can get this free one by 2 degrees. The PO3 phase is going to be our accumulation or consolidation. These are going to be our two, names that we have for this. Second step is going to be our manipulation. All right, and I'm about to explain this here for you just in a little bit. And then our third step, obviously our final step, is our distribution. I probably have misspelled all of those, but it's fine because I'm a day trader. That we have of our Power 3, we have our accumulation or consolidation, we have our manipulation, and we also have our distribution. So as you guys can see here in these charts, we have our first phase, our accumulation phase. You can see this every single day, obviously around 10 a.m. Right here, this was at an 11 a.m. time frame. At 10 a.m. we did have one that we also took as well, but we're going to go over that in just a second. This one had a way better look, and again, you can find these all day long in the charts, but usually around that 10 a.m. time frame do these happen. So obviously right here, our first step, accumulation. Our accumulation is when we are moving in a trend where we're not really creating any new higher highs or lower lows. Obviously it's not just going to be like perfect like that. It can have something like this, kind of moving up and down, but really in a range. All right, in a range. So how are we going to trade off this? Well, we have to wait for our next step. So if you guys do have the indicator, you guys can go ahead and search up Power of 3. Go ahead and get this HTF Power of 3 indicator. That's why you see this candle right here. And we're going to explain that here in just a minute. But let me show you guys the next step of the Power of 3. So obviously, at 10 a.m. we see our accumulation. This is going to be when a bunch of orders are just racking up. We see a bunch of liquidity forming. Our next step of Power 3 is going to be that manipulation. Our manipulation is when we are going to stop out all retail traders. So in this strategy, you have to think, what would a retail trader do so I can do the opposite? It's weird, but I'll show you guys here in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward these charts so you guys can see the second step, manipulation, and I'm going to show you guys what it's like to be a retail trader and what it's like to trade Power of 3. So obviously, as you guys can see here, we are forming downwards. All right. So obviously we have just manipulated. What a manipulation is when we are consolidating in a range. Sorry about that. When we are consolidating in a range and it suddenly moves out of this range. Now, you can see two things with this. For a higher confirmation or more of an A+ setup, where we consolidate down to. So obviously it's going to be this range right here. We need to see if there was any key levels previously, whether that's a fair value gap or a change in stated delivery. Those are going to be our two kind of indicators. So sorry about that one. Either we have an inverse fair value gap or a CISD. Now, let's drag this line along, and boom, we see a 1 minute fair value gap that we can mark right here that, oh, tested down into this zone. Let's go to the 5 minute. So right here, we have still a gap. Not really the best one that we're looking for. Not really a goodly formed fair value gap. Now, let's go to the 15 one. Obviously, the 15 is when you're going to have major setups here, and we do not. But we have a tad bit of a gap right here that price could maybe test down in. But for that A+ setup, you really want to look at the 15-minute fair value gap. But if you do have the 1 minute, perfectly fine. That's a still fair value gap. So we're kind of trending above this fair value gap right here. We just manipulated down. I don't know why it's there. We just manipulated down here to this fair value gap. Now, you do not want to enter right here because obviously if price rejects this, we can literally keep going down. But we need a confirmation. We have our IFVG, inverse fair value gap, and our CISD, change in state of delivery. Now, what we can see here is that this fair value gap this morning formed. And again, if you guys want to learn how to trade the PO3 strategy like this every single day in live trading, go ahead and click that link below, because I trade live every single day at 9:45 Eastern time with the team, and we literally have so many people making profits. So definitely a good thing to look at. We are currently now offering a free trial for 7 days. If you guys did want to get basically all the perks of the membership, that includes one-on-one training, our full A to Z Power of 3 notebook, our live 9:45 Eastern time trading, our weekly recaps, basically everything that we have in the server is granted to you for 7 days free trial. So let's go back here, hop back into this. We have a fair value gap right here. Now, if you guys do want more information on a fair value gap, I can give you guys a little quick understanding, but I'm going to have another video here posted about what a fair value gap is. Obviously, fair value gaps are when we're seeing 3 candles right here. Wick, 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 wick. And the wicks of these, the middle one, the top one right here, cuts off there, bottom one cuts off, we have our gap right here. That's going to be our fair value gap. So, with that being said, we have a fair value gap here that we can test into. So, after we see that close above the fair value gap, that is going to be my entry. So you guys can see here, we closed above this fair value gap right here was my entry for the day. Now, you might ask where we want to take our stops, where we want to take our profits. When I get in on these trades, obviously I got in right here, and I will put my stop below the manipulation right here. And then for our R's, you want to get your Fibonacci. You want to target exactly where you got in and let it go up. And you want to match this. So this is how I usually do it. And then obviously we can see TP1, TP2. So let's let this trade play out. We usually like to see consolidation highs, or previous day highs, sorry, but obviously after that manipulation, we want to see higher than these consolidation highs. So let's watch this trade play out. So obviously now after watching this trade, we tested back to this level, and this was my take profits right here at this range, because I don't want to go too far, because we pushed really high there. So I'm glad that we were able to test into this zone again. So that was my TP for there, and we went out of that with a lot there, and so that was really good. That was about a 3 RR we had there, but obviously super good, played out really well. So yeah, that's going to be our Power of 3, literally simplified into the easiest steps possible. If you guys want me to explain even more, go ahead and comment PO3. I'm going to go ahead and send you a free checklist that basically explains why I do the trades, what's my mind behind it, and everything that you need to know. So just comment down PO3. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite part about this video and what you most needed help with that this video did kind of help you with. So if you did enjoy the video, again, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.